falling down to disaster. Princess Catherine quietly wins secret Meghan Markle war. The Princess of Wales has just played a blinder, while the hypocritical Duchess has hit one of the rockiest patches he has ever seen. Hello, and a very warm welcome to LVT News. Looking back through history, we can find that there was ancient Rome's year of 4 emperors, and then France had the War of the Two Peters. So I guess when some royal biographer in the future is managing to put down their waitress brand Ginopol long enough and writes the history of the House of Windsor circa 2023, they might be able to focus solely on the month of the two. Because if we really want to understand where things currently stand, the same month that King Charles and Queen Camilla married arcane tradition and 18th century cosplaying for TV cameras, then really, we just need to look at the tale of two frocks. One dress was worn by Catherine, the Princess of Wales, who has just played quite the blinder and had one of her best months ever. And the second dress was worn by Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. And Meghan is coming off of one of the rockiest patches she has seen since she first arrived on the scene. We've got 1 month, 2 royal wives and 2 very different futures. The irony would be pretty hard to miss. But anyway, let's go through things in order. First, the whole world got to watch the coronation on May 6, which was basically about 7 decades in the making. Catherine showed up looking like she definitely had understood the assignment. She showed up looking regal as ever. She was wearing an Alexander McQueen gown and a headpiece worn under her Royal Victorian ornamental, all of which made her look like she was trying to channel Britannia with a little bit of Queen Mary's steel thrown in for good measure. And just in case anybody doubted whether a former accessories buyer whose greatest achievement before she married William was running a charity roller disco had really made it, well, here was our proof. Catherine looked every bit a princess. It looked like she was born for this role more than any other blue blood, in fact. And it's not only the wardrobe that Catherine is nailing, but the actual job as well. It wasn't enough for Catherine to just open things every now and again and do a lot of ribbon cutting. Oh, no. And the last few years, Catherine has pulled off the biggest royal coup since the Stuarts got to have a go on the throne. The Royal Foundation Center for Early Childhood might not sound like much, but it actually is tackling some really important issues like addiction and homelessness and mental health in the next generation. In the last few months, only Catherine has gathered CEOs from 9 global corporations for a business task force. She has launched a UK-wide advertising campaign. And somehow she found the time to write an op-ed piece for the Financial Times. That, of course, is the go-to newspaper of plutocrats and presidents and power brokers all over the world. So it looks like we are getting to know a whole new Catherine. She was actually hiding a lot of ambition all this time. Catherine has basically gone from strength to strength. She is nailing it. But we cannot really say the same for her sister-in-law Meghan Markle. And last month, Meghan's biggest achievement is giving her. It's a whole lot of global exposure. Just last week, Meghan and Harry and Meghan's mother, Doria, showed up at an awards gala in New York to collect her award for being a top feminist. And it did not go unnoticed that as she was coming through some kind of side entrance, she had to walk right through the rental car outpost. And for that evening, Meghan Markle was spotted wearing a gold dress from Joanna. That gold number reminded me of something that Carried from Sex in the City would have worn. It was a little bit of old Hollywood glamour meets 21st century power players. And if Catherine had been trying to improve her queenly credentials with her outfit and doing a little bit to help and knock off royal souvenir industry, then Meghan's was all about trying to portray herself as somebody who is in control of her own narrative. And all of that went pretty well until about 2 hours later, when Meghan and Harry and Doria left the thick-billed ballroom and managed to be subsumed by a whole new tsunami of headline-making drama. According to their mouthpiece, what came after was a near-catastrophic car chase and interpretation of events that wasn't exactly shared by people like the NYPD and the mayor of New York in the week. And a little bit since that day, more maps, more diagrams have come out in the UK media. There are now an absurd number of details available to find out more information about this controversial Manhattan journey. And it's not only that little tobacco that has gotten the two of them in trouble. In fact, it's pretty difficult to understand how anybody could claim that things are going well in the world of Meghan and Harry. Lately, their Netflix show may have made quite the impact, and Harry's book may have sold well. But 6 months after all that, Meghan and Harry are starting to look pretty boring and the big unanswered question that is still surrounding them is, what else do they really have to offer audiences, streaming companies and publishers now that they have already given a lot of dirt on the royal family? Will anybody actually care about what they've got to say if they're not blaming the royal family for all their problems or talking about the deep spiritual pain of that time? The Prince and Princess of Wales did not invite them to go have these on. Some takeaway. Right now, Meghan has no new project scheduled for Netflix or Spotify, and there hasn't been any excitement for her to write another children's book either. Now, this month, Meghan signed with the Hollywood agency WM East, but of course, we don't know exactly what direction they may take Meghan's career in. What is pretty clear, though, is that based on polls in the US, Meghan is not making friends. She's not influencing people either. She is only just making it back into net positive territory after disappearing into the negative numbers for most of the year. Actually, it's been a little over 5 years since she and Harry got married. And what does she really have to show for all this time today? Meghan Markle is not somebody who brings people